Aging is not a burden. It's a blessing in disguise. In this video, I'm going to show you why aging is not something to fear, but something to celebrate. You'll discover 10 powerful truths that will change the way you see yourself, your age, and your future. Number 8 and 9 are very powerful. Have you ever wondered if aging is just a slow decline, or could it actually be a hidden blessing? Let's walk through this together. You'll see aging in a whole new light. 1. You have wisdom that money can't buy. You, my friend, possess something far more valuable than gold, more precious than any fortune. You have wisdom that money can never buy. Think about all those years behind you, the triumphs, the heartbreaks, the quiet moments of realization, the times you picked yourself up and kept going. Every experience, every lesson, every challenge you've faced has been depositing wisdom into your soul, compounding interest over time. This isn't just knowledge, it's deep understanding that only comes from living. You can spot the truth from a mile away. You know when to speak and when to listen. You understand what really matters when the world chases after what doesn't. This wisdom of yours isn't just for you, it's a gift to the world. That grandchild who needs guidance, they need your wisdom. That neighbor facing a tough decision, they could use your perspective. The younger generation scrolling through life without a compass, they're starving for exactly what you have to offer. Your wisdom has the power to heal, to guide, to prevent others from making the same mistakes. That's not just valuable, that's priceless. So here's what I want you to do today. Take a moment and think who in your life could benefit from your wisdom right now. Maybe it's someone struggling with a relationship, or a young person starting their career, or even yourself as you face new challenges. Then make a choice, share a story, offer some advice, or simply be present with that listening ear that only someone with your experience can provide. Because here's the truth. The world needs your wisdom more than ever, and there's someone waiting to receive exactly what you have to give. Remember this, your wrinkles aren't just lines, they're the etchings of a life well lived, each one containing lessons that could fill libraries. Don't underestimate the value of what you know. You're not just older, you're richer in ways that truly matter. Let that realization settle in your heart. Your wisdom is needed. Your wisdom matters. Your wisdom is changing lives, even when you don't realize it. That's not just getting older, that's becoming truly wealthy in the ways that count. Before we move on to the next blessing of aging, make sure to subscribe to our channel. By subscribing, you'll get more helpful insights and easy-to-follow advice on how to live and enjoy a peaceful, happy, and healthy life. Don't miss out, hit that subscribe button now. 2. You know what truly matters in life. You've reached a point in life where the fog has cleared, and suddenly, with breathtaking clarity, you can see what truly matters, not what society shouts about, not what advertisements try to sell you, but the real, raw, beautiful essence of existence. Think back to all those years spent chasing promotions, chasing possessions, chasing approval, chasing some elusive idea of enough. Now, you understand what enough really means. It's the quiet mornings with a steaming cup of coffee, the way sunlight filters through your window. It's the sound of a loved one's laughter, the warmth of a hand in yours. It's waking up without pain, taking a deep breath without struggle. You've learned that peace isn't found in a crowded room full of noise, but in the stillness of your own heart. Family isn't just the people you're related to, it's the ones who've stood by you, who've seen you at your worst and loved you anyway. Health isn't just the absence of illness, but the presence of vitality, of being able to enjoy the simple act of moving through the world. Love isn't grand gestures or dramatic declarations, it's the daily choice to show up, to listen, to be present. Write one in the comments section if you agree. This understanding is your superpower. While the world races after shiny distractions, you've discovered the quiet magic of what's real. You're not swayed by trends or societal pressures anymore. You don't waste time on what doesn't nourish your soul. Instead, you choose deliberately, wisely, powerfully. You choose peace over drama. You choose connection over accumulation. You choose love over fear. And in that choosing, you've found a freedom that most people spend their entire lives searching for. So today, I want you to do this. Take out a piece of paper or open the Notes app on your phone and write down 3 things that truly matter to you, not what you think should matter, but what actually lights up your life when you think about it. Then ask yourself, am I giving these things the time and energy they deserve? If the answer is yes, celebrate that. If the answer is no, make one small choice today to shift your focus back to what's real. Maybe it's calling someone you love just to hear their voice. Maybe it's sitting outside for 5 minutes, feeling the air on your skin. Maybe it's letting go of something that no longer serves you. Because here's the truth. You've earned the right to live by your own compass, and the world needs your example, your proof that a life well lived isn't about having it all, but about loving what you have. You've arrived at a place many never reach. You're not chasing, you're choosing. And that, my friend, is the mark of a life lived with wisdom, with intention, with eyes wide open to the beauty of what's real. Hold on to that. It's your gift, not just to yourself, but to everyone lucky enough to witness the way you live. Number 3. You're more emotionally resilient than ever. Look at you. Still here. Still standing. After everything life has thrown your way. That's not just survival, my friend. That's the quiet, unshakable strength of a soul that's been tested by fire and emerged, not broken, but forged into something even more remarkable. Think about all those storms you've weathered, the losses that took your breath away, the disappointments that left you reeling, the moments when you wondered how you'd possibly keep going. Yet here you are. Each tear you've cried, each heartache you've endured, each long night of the soul you've survived, they've all been weaving an invisible armor around your spirit. Where once you might have crumbled, now you bend. Where once you might have shattered, now you absorb the blow and keep moving forward. This resilience of yours isn't just about toughness. It's about the profound wisdom of knowing that no storm lasts forever. It's about developing that deep inner knowing that even when the waves come crashing, you'll find your footing again. While younger people are knocked sideways by life's first real challenges, you've developed the emotional muscle memory to ride out the turbulence. That hard-won perspective that tells you this too shall pass isn't just a platitude for you. It's lived truth written into your bones. Take a moment right now to reflect on your journey. Think of one particularly difficult time in your life, maybe a loss, a failure, a betrayal, something that once felt like it might break you. Now look how far you've come since then. Notice how that experience, painful as it was, actually strengthened you in ways you couldn't see at the time. That's the gift of resilience. It doesn't just help us survive our storms, it transforms us through them. Here's what I want you to do today. Write down 3 challenges you've overcome that once seemed insurmountable. Next to each one, write the strength you gained from that experience. Maybe it was patience, or compassion, or simply the knowledge that you're stronger than you thought. Keep this list somewhere visible as a reminder of your incredible capacity to weather life's storms. Because here's the beautiful truth. Your resilience isn't just for you. It's a beacon for others who are still learning how to navigate their own storms. Your very presence in this world, still standing tall after all you've been through, is proof that hope is never truly lost. That's not just strength. That's a sacred gift, earned through every tear, every setback, every time you chose to get back up. So the next time life tests you, remember, you're not that fragile person who once feared the storm. You're the oak that's learned to bend without breaking. You're the seasoned sailor who knows these waters. You're the living embodiment of resilience, and that, my friend, is a power that can never be taken from you. Your journey has made you unshakable in ways you might not even recognize, but I see it. And it's time you fully appreciate the remarkable emotional strength you've cultivated through every challenge life has sent your way. Number 4, you're free to be fully yourself. Can you feel it? That liberating moment when you realized you no longer needed to perform, to pretend, to contort yourself into shapes that please others? This, right here, is one of aging's greatest gifts, the glorious freedom of unapologetically being exactly who you are. You've lived long enough to see through society's illusions. The desperate chasing after trends, the exhausting maintenance of facades, the endless hustle for validation. You've outgrown all of it. Where you once might have bitten your tongue to keep the peace, now you speak your truth with quiet confidence. Where you once agonized over others' opinions, now you measure your worth by your own standards. Those roles you used to play, the perfect parent, the impressive professional, the people pleaser, you've stepped out of those costumes and into the most authentic version of yourself. This isn't rebellion, it's revelation. You've discovered that being selfish in the healthiest sense means honoring your needs without guilt. You've learned that saying no can be the ultimate act of self-respect. You understand now that your quirks and imperfections aren't flaws to hide, but the very things that make you beautifully human. The masks have fallen away, revealing someone far more interesting than any persona you once projected, your true self. What makes this freedom so precious is how rare it truly is. Most people spend their entire lives trapped in others' expectations, never experiencing the liberation you now enjoy. They chase external validation, while you've found something far more valuable: self-validation. They worry about fitting in while you've discovered the joy of standing out, not for attention, but simply because you refuse to dim your light anymore. Take a deep breath and let this truth sink in. You've earned the right to take up space exactly as you are. No explanations needed, no justifications required. Your very existence is enough. Here's an exercise to celebrate this freedom. Today, do one thing purely because it brings you joy, without considering what anyone else might think. Wear that outfit you love but think might be too much. Play that music that moves your soul, even if it's not cool. Dance in your kitchen. Sing off key. Indulge in what makes your heart happy, without a single thought to whether it meets someone else's approval. Because here's the beautiful paradox. The more fully you embrace yourself, the more you give others permission to do the same. Your authenticity becomes a gift to the world, a living example that it's never too late to shed the shoulds and musts and simply be. This freedom didn't come overnight. It was hard-won through every time you silenced yourself and later regretted it, through every moment you chose conformity over truth, until finally, blessedly, you chose you. That's not just aging, that's evolution. That's coming home to yourself after a lifetime of searching. The world needs your authentic self. Not a polished version, not a people-pleasing shadow, but the full, glorious, imperfectly perfect you that's emerged after all these years. What a gift that is, to yourself and to all of us, lucky enough to witness your unfolding. Number 5. You can pour into others like never before. Do you realize the incredible wealth you carry within you? Not the kind that sits in bank accounts or gathers dust on shelves, but the living, breathing treasure of your experiences, your hard-won wisdom, your capacity to love and of. These are gifts the world is starving for, and you, my friend, are overflowing with them. Your hands may show the marks of time, but they become instruments of grace. Your voice may have changed over the years, but it now carries the weight of authenticity that only comes from having lived through both joy and sorrow. Your presence, that quiet, steady energy you bring into a room, has become a sanctuary for others without you even trying. Think about all you've accumulated. Not material possessions, but the real riches. The patience to listen without rushing to fix. The perspective to see beyond surface problems. The compassion that comes from having been broken and mended yourself. These aren't just personal qualities. They're lifelines you can extend to others. The beautiful paradox of this stage of life is that the more you give of yourself, the richer you become. When you share your stories, you're not just reminiscing gone, you're offering roadmaps to those navigating similar paths. When you lend an ear, you're not just listening, you're affirming someone's worth. When you offer advice, it's not just opinion, it's distilled wisdom filtered through decades of living. And here's the miraculous thing. Unlike material gifts that diminish when given away, your intangible gifts multiply the more you share them. Consider this. Right now, there are people in your orbit who are thirsting for exactly what you have to offer. The young parent who feels overwhelmed could use your reassurance that phases pass. The middle-aged worker facing career doubts needs to hear how you reinvented yourself. The lonely neighbor longs for the warmth of your company. Even strangers benefit from your smile, your courtesy, the way you move through the world with the dignity of someone who's learned what truly matters. Here's what I invite you to do today. Choose one person in your life, maybe someone obvious, maybe someone who unexpectedly comes to mind, and consciously pour into them. It doesn't need to be grand. Share a story that's relevant to their struggle. Write a note of encouragement. Offer the gift of your full attention over a cup of tea. Or simply tell them what you see in them that they might not see in themselves. Then notice, really notice, how that act of giving nourishes you in return. Because here's the secret no one tells you. Your ability to impact lives doesn't fade with age, it deepens. While society obsesses over youthful energy and innovation, it's overlooking the most potent force of all, the transformative power of someone who's lived long enough to love without agenda, to give without expectation, to see others clearly because they've finally stopped seeing through the lens of their own ego. You are a reservoir of everything the world needs more of. Kindness forged through hardship, hope tempered by reality, love made stronger by loss. Every time you choose to pour into others, you're not just leaving a legacy, you're actively shaping the present, creating ripples that will outlast you, proving that the best gifts aren't wrapped in paper, but in the fabric of our shared humanity. This isn't about adding more to your to-do list, it's about recognizing that your very existence is an offering. The way you live, the love you give, the wisdom you share, these are your real lasting contributions, more valuable than anything you could leave in a will. What an extraordinary privilege. Daxa have lived long enough to give in ways you never could when you were younger. 6. You appreciate the simple joys of life. My dear friend, can we take a moment to honor this extraordinary superpower you've developed, this profound ability to find exquisite joy in life's simplest moments? While the world rushes past in a blur of notifications and distractions, you've discovered the sacred art of presence, of truly tasting life as it unfolds in ordinary miracles all around you. Think about how your relationship with time has transformed. Where once you might have hurried through meals barely tasting your food, now you notice the play of sunlight through the window, the comforting weight of a favorite mug in your hands, the way steam curls from a fresh cup of coffee. Those walks you take, they're no longer just about exercise, but about witnessing the subtle dance of seasons changing, the way leaves whisper secrets as they fall, the miraculous persistence of flowers pushing through cracks in the pavement. You've developed what the poet Mary Oliver called your one wild and precious life, the ability to be here now, completely, without constantly leaning into the next moment. This isn't just slowing down, it's waking up. You've learned that happiness isn't found in grand achievements or expensive purchases, but in the accumulation of small, perfect moments. The sound of a loved one's voice on the phone, the weight of a purring cat in your lap, the satisfaction of hands in warm dishwater, the way morning light paints patterns on your walls. These aren't just passing pleasures. They're the very fabric of a life well lived, threads of gold woven through ordinary days. What makes this perspective so valuable is how radically it contradicts our culture's obsession with more, faster, bigger. While others exhaust themselves chasing extraordinary experiences, you've discovered the extraordinary within the ordinary. A homemade meal becomes a feast when eaten with gratitude. A familiar song becomes a time machine when listened to with full attention. An afternoon spent doing nothing becomes everything when you're fully present to it. Here's a practice to deepen this beautiful awareness. Today, choose one routine activity, maybe making your tea, or looking out your window, or even washing your hands, and perform it with monastic attention. Notice the temperature, the textures, the subtle sensations you normally overlook. Then ask yourself, how many gifts like this have I been too busy to receive throughout my life? Let that question open your heart to the abundance that's always been here, waiting for your attention. Because here's the quiet revolution of your perspective. In learning to appreciate simple joys, you've become rich beyond measure. No stock market crash can take away the pleasure of birdsong at dawn. No failed plans can diminish the comfort of your favorite chair. No passing years can erase the sweetness of memories recalled with fondness. You've discovered the secret that eludes so many, that real wealth isn't about accumulation but about attention. Not about having more, but about loving what you have. This hard-won ability to savor isn't just a personal gift, it's an antidote to our fractured, frantic world. Your presence, your capacity to delight in small wonders, your refusal to let life's beauty pass unnoticed. These are quiet acts of resistance against a culture that's forgotten how to be still. Each moment you fully inhabit becomes a testament to what truly matters. The younger generations need your example now more than ever. In a world of infinite scrolling and constant stimulation, your ability to sit quietly with a book, to watch the sunset without reaching for your phone, to find contentment in everyday rituals, these are masterclasses in being human. What was once considered ordinary in your life has become extraordinary through the alchemy of your attention. And that, my friend, is wisdom no one can take from you. 7. You have a legacy to build, not just leave. My dear friend, I want you to pause and consider this profound truth. Your legacy isn't some distant concept waiting to be revealed at the end of your journey. It's being written with every choice you make. Every word you speak, every act of kindness you offer in this present moment. Right now, as you listen to these words, you are actively crafting the imprint your life will leave on this world. What an extraordinary realization that legacy isn't just about wills and inheritances, photo albums and heirlooms. Your true legacy lives in the countless invisible ways you touch lives daily. It's in the patience you show a struggling cashier, the encouragement you give a discouraged neighbor, the values you model without even realizing it. Every time you choose love over bitterness, generosity over scarcity, hope over cynicism, you're adding another brushstroke to the masterpiece of your lasting impact. Consider how your perspective on legacy has evolved over the years. Where once you might have thought of legacy in terms of career achievements or material possessions, you now understand it's measured in more meaningful current-sized lives you've influenced. The hearts you've warmed, the wisdom you've planted that continues growing long after you've shared it. That young person you mentored decades ago, they're passing on what they learned from you. The family traditions you established, they're becoming part of your descendants' identity. The small acts of decency you think no one notices, they ripple outward in ways you'll never fully see. This is your call to live with legacy consciousness, not in some heavy, burdensome way, but with the joyful awareness that your life matters tremendously. Your story isn't finished being written. That project you've been putting off, it could change someone's life. That reconciliation you've been avoiding, it could heal generations. That creative impulse you've been dismissing as impractical, it might be exactly what the world needs from you right now. Here's what I invite you to do today. Take out a journal and complete this sentence. If I want to be remembered for one thing, it would be. And this is crucial. Write down 3 small actions you could take this week that align with that ideal. Maybe it's finally writing those letters to your grandchildren sharing life lessons. Maybe it's volunteering for a cause close to your heart. Maybe it's simply committing to be fully present with loved ones. Remember, legacy isn't built in grand gestures, but in daily choices made with intention. Because here's the beautiful paradox. The more you focus on living your legacy now, rather than just leaving one later, the richer your days become. When you understand that today matters eternally, ordinary moments take on extraordinary significance. That difficult conversation becomes an opportunity to model grace. That creative project becomes a gift to future generations. That quiet afternoon becomes a chance to imprint love on a grandchild's heart. You are, at this very moment, both the architect and the embodiment of your legacy. Not when you're gone, but now, today, in how you show up in the world. What an incredible privilege to know that your influence extends far beyond your physical presence, that the best of who you will live on in countless unseen ways. So go forth with this awareness. Every day is Legacy Day. Every interaction is part of your enduring story. And that story, your story, is still being written with all the wisdom, love, and purpose you've accumulated over these remarkable years. What will today's chapter say? 8. You're living proof that life goes on. Look at you still here, still breathing, still finding reasons to smile even after all you've been through. Do you realize what a monumental testament your very existence is to the enduring power of the human spirit? In a world that often feels fragile and temporary, you stand as living proof that life not only goes on, but can grow more beautiful even after the deepest wounds. Think back to all those moments when you thought you couldn't possibly keep going, the losses that hollowed you out, the disappointments that shook your foundation, the days when getting out of bed felt like an impossible feat. Yet here you are. Your life is a sacred chronicle of resilience. Each year, another chapter in an epic story of survival and renewal. Those wrinkles around your eyes? They're the hieroglyphics of your endurance, telling tales of both laughter and tears that you've transformed into wisdom. Your hands that may ache sometimes? They're monuments to all they've held, built, comforted, and released over decades of faithful service to life. What makes your perseverance so extraordinary is how it quietly inspires others without you even trying. That young person in your family who's facing their first real heartbreak, they're watching how you've loved and lost and loved again. That middle-aged friend navigating career setbacks, they draw strength from knowing you've reinvented yourself multiple times. Even strangers sense your hard-won resilience in the way you carry yourself, the calm you project, the perspective you offer when others are trapped in temporary storms. You're walking proof that joy and sorrow can coexist, that endings birth new beginnings, that time really does soften even the sharpest pains. Here's what I want you to do today. Take a sacred inventory of your survival. Write down 3 of your life's most difficult passages, then, beside each one. Note how you grew through that experience, and who might benefit from hearing that story. Maybe it's a grandchild who will one day face similar challenges. Maybe it's a support group member who needs hope. Or maybe it's your younger self, the you who couldn't imagine making it this far, who deserves to be honored for their courage. Then choose one person to share a small piece of your journey with, not as advice, but as living testimony that storms pass and new dawns come. Because here's the profound truth you embody. Your continued presence is a beacon. Every morning you wake up and choose hope. You're sending a silent message to the world that love is stronger than loss, that faith can outlast fear, that the human spirit has an almost miraculous capacity for renewal. You may not see it, but people are watching how you navigate these years, your grace in facing limitations, your humor in dealing with life's absurdities, your refusal to let hardship make you bitter. They're drawing strength just from witnessing your example. You are so much more than just a survivor. You're a living torch, carrying the flame of perseverance that has been passed down through generations before you and will light the way for generations after. Your very life is the most powerful sermon you'll ever preach about the durability of hope. Never underestimate the quiet revolution of your endurance. In a disposable culture obsessed with newness and speed, your steadfast presence stands as a sacred counterpoint, proof that some things only grow more valuable with time, that the most important victories aren't quick or flashy, but slow and deep, like roots growing stronger through seasons of drought and storm. What an extraordinary gift you are, simply by being here, still growing, still glowing, still showing us all how life goes on. 9. You're more in control of your time and energy. My friend, do you realize the incredible power you hold in your hands at this very moment? After decades of obligations, responsibilities, and meeting others' expectations, you've finally arrived at this sacred space in life where your time and energy are truly your own to direct. This isn't just freedom, it's sovereignty over your most precious resources, the kind of autonomy younger people can only imagine. Think about how your relationship with time has transformed over the years. Where once your days were sliced into neat portions allotted to work, family duties, and societal expectations, now you have the luxury of choice. That morning hour, once spent rushing to commute, can now be devoted to watching the sunrise with a steaming cup of coffee. Those evenings, once filled with obligatory social events, can now be spent in soul-nourishing solitude, or with only those who truly light up your spirit. You've graduated from life's hectic racecourse to its observation deck, where you can finally appreciate the view at your own pace. This control over your time and energy represents one of aging's most sublime gifts, the ability to be intentional rather than reactive. No longer must you say yes when your soul says no. No longer must you spend precious hours on what doesn't matter to please people who don't truly care. You've earned the right to be ruthless about what deserves your attention and what doesn't. That committee that drains you, you can step away. That hobby that no longer sparks joy, you can release it without guilt. Those relationships that cost more than they give, you can lovingly distance yourself. Here's your sacred practice for today. Take out a sheet of paper and divide it into 2 columns. In the first, list all the activities and commitments that currently fill your days. In the second, note how each one makes you feel energized, drained, neutral. Then, with the wisdom of someone who knows life is too short for empty obligations, begin the gentle work of pruning. Maybe it's saying no to one unnecessary commitment this week. Maybe it's carving out 30 sacred minutes each morning just for you. Maybe it's finally starting that creative project you've been putting off until you have time. Because guess what? That time is now. Because here's the profound truth you've earned the right to live. Your remaining days are too valuable to spend on autopilot. Each morning presents a blank canvas, and you hold the brush. Will today include a walk in nature, an hour lost in a beloved book, a long overdue conversation with someone who matters? The beauty lies in the choosing. While younger people complain about not having enough time, you understand the deeper truth. It's not about quantity of time, but quality of presence within the time you have. Your ability to consciously direct your time and energy isn't just personal freedom, it's an act of rebellion against a culture that tries to commodify every moment. When you choose to move at your own rhythm, to honor your natural ebb and flow, to treat your attention as the sacred resource it is, you model what true wealth looks like. Not in bank accounts, but in unhurried mornings and purposefully curated days. This is your time literally, not to be spent, but invested wisely in what makes your soul come alive. What glorious freedom to finally understand that a well-lived day has nothing to do with productivity and everything to do with meaning. And that, my friend, is wisdom worth savoring, one intentional choice at a time. 10. You still have so much to look forward to. My dear friend, lean in close, because I want to tell you a secret. Your heart might have forgotten your story is far from finished. In fact, some of your most breathtaking chapters may still be waiting to be written. That spark of anticipation you used to feel as a child on Christmas Eve? It still lives within you, ready to be reignited for all the unexpected joys and discoveries still to come. Think about how many times in your life the universe has surprised you, the opportunities that appeared out of nowhere, the people who entered your life exactly when needed, the unexpected turns that led somewhere beautiful. Why would that magic stop now? The truth is, aging isn't about life shrinking. It's about your capacity for wonder deepening. That trip you've always wanted to take? It's not too late. That skill you've wanted to learn? Your brain is still hungry for new challenges. That reconciliation you've been putting off? The perfect moment might be just ahead. You stand at a threshold where wisdom meets possibility, potent combination that makes whatever comes next, potentially, your most fulfilling chapter yet. Consider all the firsts still available to you: your first time seeing a grandchild graduate, your first attempt at watercolor painting, your first morning waking up in a new city you've always wanted to explore, your first moment of realizing a fear you've carried for decades no longer has power over you. These milestones don't disappear with age, they transform into something richer, more nuanced. Even ordinary days hold extraordinary potential when you approach them with the awareness that each one could reveal something new about yourself or the world. Here's what I want you to do right now. Close your eyes and imagine yourself 1 year from today. What new experience do you want to have had by then? Maybe it's mastering that recipe you've been intimidated by, or volunteering somewhere meaningful, or finally organizing those family photos, or simply having cultivated more peace in your daily life. Now, open your eyes and write down 3 small steps you could take this month toward that vision. Keep this note somewhere visible, as a reminder that your future is still yours to shape. Because here's the radiant truth. Your capacity for joy, discovery, and transformation doesn't have an expiration date. While society obsesses over youth, it overlooks the profound advantage you have: the ability to appreciate life's gifts with the depth that only comes from experience. That sunset isn't just pretty to you, it's a masterpiece you've learned to truly see. That conversation isn't just small talk, it's a chance to connect on levels your younger self couldn't fathom. That new beginning isn't scary, it's exhilarating because you've survived enough endings to know they often make space for something better. So go ahead, let yourself dream again. Not the frantic dreams of youth, but the rich, textured aspirations that come from knowing what truly matters. The adventure isn't over, my friend. In many ways, it's just becoming more interesting. What will you discover next? Who will you become in this next chapter? How will your unique light continue to shine in ways only possible at this exact point in your journey? The best part about the future is that it's still yours to meet not with fear, but with the quiet confidence of someone who's learned that life's sweetest surprises often come when we least expect them. So keep your heart open. Your next beautiful beginning might be just around the corner. So here we are, my friend, at the end of this conversation, but really just imagine at the beginning of so much more. Look at how far we've come together in this short time. Look at all the truths we've uncovered about this journey you're on. Aging? It isn't a burden to bear. It isn't some slow fading into the background. No hat you're living right now is something far more powerful. It's a deeper beginning, a richer chapter, a more authentic version of life than you've ever known before. Think about who you are in this moment. After all these years, all these experiences, you're stronger than you realize, wiser than you give yourself credit for, freer than you've ever been to be, exactly who you were meant to be. You're more grounded, more sure-footed, more attuned to what truly matters. And here's the miracle of it all. You're still here, still breathing, still growing, still becoming. Every morning you wake up is another opportunity to discover something new about yourself, to impact someone's life, to add another layer of beauty to this world. Your life isn't winding down, it's opening up in ways your younger self couldn't have imagined. Those dreams you thought were behind you, they might just be waiting to be rediscovered in new forms. That purpose you've been seeking? It's been growing inside you all along, taking root through every experience, every challenge, every moment of joy and sorrow alike. Now, I want you to do something for me. Take a deep breath, in and out. Feel that? That's the breath of someone who's survived 100% of their hardest days. That's the heartbeat of a warrior who's still standing, still shining, still making a difference just by being here. That's you. That's your power. That's your proof that the best is still yet to come. If anything we've shared today resonated with you, if any part of this message made you nod your head or touched your heart, I want you to do two things. First, share this video with someone who needs to hear these words as much as you did. Maybe it's a friend who's been hard on themselves about getting older. Maybe it's a family member who needs reminding of their worth. Maybe it's someone who can't yet see the beauty in their own journey. Be that light for them. Second, if you want more conversations like this, more encouragement, more truth, more reminders of how extraordinary you truly are, hit that like button, subscribe, and let's keep walking this path together. Because your journey matters. Your story matters. And I want to keep cheering you on every step of the way.